Good morning. This is Plum Silver. I have this draw which I put together last night. I have felt like I wanted to know a little bit more clarification of knowing how or Canada or the Commonwealth in general, these countries which I feel like they're kind of sort of breaking down and breaking down in front of us, especially after the death of the Queen. And some of my other draw, I kind of pointed out this. Now I find it interesting. I got the Sun card in the middle here. I got the King of Cups. Definitely a king that loves and fears what's coming, the changes. The public is going to be sort of really seeing it, and definitely going to have to understand what it needs to trust for them to flow into the collective changes. And the King of Cups, he's actually sitting on the throne with the water, and he's afraid to go deep into the water, and the water here. And this card could be our Mr. Trump here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you have to be careful not to put too much emphasis on the cards or associating to one person. But it's some kingdom, some force, and definitely I've always kind of felt like the Trump era, which we're in for the last few years, has made some huge trigger. But this morning on the news, I heard Liz Truss. Like trust, isn't that funny? And there's a woman here, and there's an ending. Again, the commitment that has been so confusing. I thought that the death of the Queen was going to be the thing that is going to really open up big changes. Now, my tarot card here are really interesting because there's a new start here that could be something to do finance or whatever we've invested into the like this could be centralized, the new beginning of this new kingdom, or not even new kingdom, but new investment that we do towards. They're breaking down, and because it's been completely there's like 10 pentacles here, which is 10 province. They're breaking down, and their 8 of Cups again appears and tells me that they're walking away. Some provinces are walking away from that big central guarding, and here the 10 of Wands. I would say the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Wands here. That's a burden that doesn't need to be carried that way. That means it's saying that our direction, we don't need to have this bundle held together for the new direction. So just these cards here is telling me that where the Canadian history or Canadian future is going. Future, you see, the future. But I think at the early stage of the Commonwealth, I believe, there's something very symbolic going on, because today they announced this Liz Truss stepping down. It's kind of weird, all these things are breaking down. Again, that energy from the sun, that new force that is sort of triggering and breaking things down just at the cellular level is just exposing everything at the same time, which is kind of like you're throwing everything up in the air, and then you're like, oh my God, look at them all, and then they need to reorganize themselves. We're in that stage. Everything is up in the air. Because there's a big change. You see, our emotions is just, we're really raw. We have no idea where we're going. We're afraid to step into the water to really feel what is it. But at the same time, we're collective. We need to sort of like start having a focus point. Start trusting that we need to focus together. This change here, this change, moving away. You can see that's why I say moving away from what's been like a deception or government, what has been trying to hold us together. And then that information is going to come out. Now, the inquiry, which fascinates me, I personally think is just one level of things that are happening. And people are thinking that that's what's going to break down the country. No, it's just showing you how it's breaking down. But you can't hold accountable a prime minister that does not exist if he's a puppet. What are you going to put a clone in jail? It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, so or an actor, whatever it is, because at one point when you find that out, then you're going to know that they were actually acting to expose something instead. This is my belief. We have the Q card here. Nah, it's just like, let's just say with that card. The stork is a change. It's like almost like a new birth. There's a change in the public knowing how they're going to find out this, and it will be successful. This is a very successful move that we're doing. There's an ending, and when that queen, the kingdom, you see, this is the Commonwealth, I believe, that was like very confusing. It was clear for the time when she was in power, but we're moving into a confusing time because we're going to have to create it. It's still not clear how it's going to be, but it's definitely breaking down. And I don't think it's the inquiry that by itself that's going to do it, because I have a feeling it's just showing all the layers of how they're breaking down. Even when you listen to the inquiry, you see, the mayor is looking like a total fool, and the mayor of Ottawa. And then you're looking at all the other people that are just like sort of in their own little world talking about this and how victimized they felt. And then you have the truckers, they've got their own story. But no one is really breaking it all down. We're only showing how we're breaking down ourselves. And that's what's beautiful about it, because there's actually, knowing that there's two king at the end here, which I've had that before in draws, it just shows you there's a change of guard. But it's about exposing all these change of guards, and it could also be financial, could be or what energy we're going to back up our finance, because then I got the pentacles here, or also could be these pentacles could represent the 10 provinces that are breaking down, or the investment that we have, which could be about our children. But I get more of a feeling that this is much more like about the finance, the breaking down of the countries that are together, and the provinces, because I got the 10 two times, and my question was about Canada, and there you go. And I think that's interesting to know that what we're watching about the inquiry is not put hope into it, because our consciousness is where we're focusing. That is telling us that we're going to be seeing a new direction, because it's been a very deceptive kind of there are some provinces have been deceived, and that's why they're moving away. And then funny, the ship with the water here, there's definitely a sort of a moving away from each other, and for good reasons, I believe. So here you go. And this is about Canada in general, but I think it's all related also today, because it just coincidentally it's the same time that Liz Truss resigned, which is weird. Why? It's for us to see and start paying attention, I believe, and it's kind of interesting. There you go. Thank you. I hope you like this draw. Thank you.